Hello and welcome to this short introduction to horror. In this animation we're going to talk about how horror is defined and why horror might exist at all. Manuel Aguirre argues that at the heart of the literature of terror lies one ruling symbol. The world is defined in horror literature as space and, furthermore, as a closed space. Aguirre considers horror literature insofar as this genre endeavours to express what we are not, and what we may be. So where does horror come from? In Problems of Dostoevsky's Poetics, Mikhail Bakhtin connects the fantastic with the traditional literary genre known as menopia. Characteristic of the menopia are violations of the generally accepted ordinary course of events and the established norms of behaviours and etiquette. Bakhtin conceptually links the menopia with carnival, an activity in which all transgress and live outside in, dissolving differences of rank and sexuality. Horror can be seen to develop from this and is preoccupied with dissolution of identity and society, moving away from the carnival's celebration of this to horror's exploration of humanity's inherently destructive qualities. This is played out through the metaphor of the supernatural, usually through the introduction of a monster or a monstrous being. And within the space of what cannot exist, fear and desire can be played out. The monster is the other. It is that which is different or unrecognisable to us, that which we are not. Though perhaps the most horrifying thing about the other is that through its difference we see ourselves more clearly, and we project all that we despise about ourselves onto the other. In many ways, the monster is a mirror. In horror, we explore two distinct types of the other, identified by Zetson Todorov as, number one, those dealing with the I, the other within ourselves. Stories that explore this concept include Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I Am Legend, and House of Leaves. Number two, those dealing with the not I, the other that is external to us. Stories that explore this concept of the other include Dracula, I Am Legend, Night of the Living Dead, and Cloverfield. Ideology is informed by religion, family, morality, culture, and education. It is not handed down consciously to another conscious mind. It is largely an unconscious process. And horror is preoccupied with our unconscious desires and fears. We can see this expressed most keenly through the use of the uncanny. Freud defines the uncanny as projected unconscious desires and fears onto others. It is to do with our hidden anxieties. Freud used the German Heimlich, heimisch, which has two levels of meaning. Number one, Heimlich, that which is homely, familiar, friendly and cheerful. Its negation, unheimlich, sums up the opposite. And number two, Heimlich, that which is hidden, obscured and secret. Its negation, unheimlich, functions to discover and uncover. Freud's uncanny embodies these two semantic levels. The uncanny uncovers what is hidden, and in so doing effects a disturbing transformation of the known into the unknown. This revelation does not clarify. Rather, it obscures and undermines society because it expresses desires and cultural taboos that must be repressed for the sake of cultural continuity. This provides a vicarious satisfaction ultimately serving society. The literature of the uncanny then articulates the taboo, threatening the social norms. But this serves to reconfirm the institutional order by providing an imaginary outlet for the reader. That's what horror does for us. Having deconstructed human attitudes and societies, it ultimately reaffirms us and our society. I hope you've enjoyed this short introduction to horror and what it does for us. Thanks for listening.